right club. Be the right club today.
Johnny, that's better than most. How about in? That is better than most. Better than most. Expect anything different?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the No Laying Up podcast, presented as always by our friends at Titleist. It's a major week here in Golf Players Championship preview episode, joined by the full squad here. Please, a round of applause and a welcome back to the No Laying Up podcast for the first time in quite some time, back from paternity leave. Mr. Big Randy is here. Hello, Big. How are you and what's going on in life?
Thank you. That's a nice applause. Please be seated. It's great to be here, Solly. Everything's different, coming back to the NLU podcast after having a kid. What a world.
Has
perhaps nothing's different.
Perhaps, and that's the thing too, Deej. Perhaps nothing.
That was the voice of DJ Piahowski. Mr. TC is here as well. Hello, TC.
Greetings, friends.
Neil is here. Hello, Neil.
Gentlemen, good to be with you. Happy to be here.
Mock Neck Monday.
Brother. Mock Deck Monday. That's right.
We have a lot to discuss. It is, of course, Players Weekend. For today's show, we're going to be running the first couple of segments ad-free thanks to our friends at Titleist, and we'll be back also Wednesday afternoon for a Players Kickoff show immediately following TV coverage each and every day, all proudly presented by our friends at Titleist. So shout out to them for giving us the platform for all of this content this week. Guys, I'm going to start this. Usually we do a little storyline draft in terms of previews. I'm approaching this from a little different direction here. I want to see where everyone's gut is. When you've fallen behind a little bit in the golf and an event has started, I want to know what your first instinct is to go check. What are you curious to find out? I'm going to start with Randy on this one. Like Thursday, when Thursday rolls around, let's say hypothetically, you wake up and the golf has already started. Just hypothetically, in the Mountain Time Zone, what's the first thing you're going to run to go check? What are you most curious about for this week?
Well, first of all, let me just say I feel very seen with you talking about if you've fallen behind on the golf, haven't watched.
This happens to me all the time.
So I don't want to step on TC's block here, but I think if we're gonna get wind, it looks like some wind Thursday morning. So I think I honestly will just open the app, and I don't want to see very many low scores. That's big tournaments. I never want to see guys taking it super deep, especially not day one. So that's kind of where my mind's gonna go.
Solid. The answer there was Big Randy checks the weather app. Wakes up like many people. Just check.
No, I've already checked the weather app. So now we're just checking the scoreboard, making sure nobody's taking it too low. We want to see some carnage out there, Neil.
What are you going to do if they are? Well, that's what I want to know. What are you going to do?
I might go back to bed, honestly.
Inspire me on this one, TC. Do you feel like there is reason to believe the Players is going to play more difficult in 2026 than it has in previous years?
I did just go to Drone Shot. I fired up live from. The greens looked more dry and yellow than they have in years past. Now we need this front to weaken that may roll through on Thursday. We're monitoring that, but I do have reason to believe that the greens should be firmer and drier and hopefully faster. And the height of cut around the collars, especially on holes like 12, will be we'll see more balls in the water on 12 left of that green. And
on a short risk reward par 4, TC,
yeah, God,
the ball might go in the water.
Yeah, on the worst designed Steve Wensloff hole ever. And then I'm told as well it's the same thing with 17 too. So
now you've got my attention, TC. The Colorado 17 is a disgrace. That we need more balls in the water.
Can I be maybe the lone vote of dissent on this one? I feel like that collar, it's only stopping balls that are crawling towards it. And if you hit a ripper Magoo that lands in the middle of the slope that has too much spin, your ball's going in the water. And yet if you hit that slope is so severe. And think of my shot at the Creator Classic last year. I hit a great shot right behind it and it didn't spin, but it just trickled all the way back and that collar stopped it. I felt like that was fair game. But if you have a ball that's screaming, it should go into the water. Is that fair?
The collar's going to be shorter this year, a little bit shorter. It's not going to be crazy short, but it's going to be shorter.
I think a slightly shorter, there's nuance here, Solly. I agree that a good shot shouldn't be punished. I loved it. I think one of you guys brought it up last year. It should be like a true rubber the green with just different patches at different heights. Yeah. Like if you hit one of those power alleys, like, sorry, like that's just, that's just what happens.
The circus ring at Washkamo.
100%.
The real ones will know that.
Yeah, exactly. I think that we can honor if we're looking to be a major, we honor the traditions of the game, Alex Smith, things of that nature, not the quarterback, the US Open guy, and look to the past, maybe implement some of those designs. As I've always said, we'll say another 100 times. It's a fucking look at the hole. Like it's not like a real golf hole. Like throw the rules out, man. We're not trying to like really accurately reward proper shot values here. It's an island green in the middle of a pond that's surrounded by a bunch of hospitality.
I just can't get it out of my head, Deej. I can't get it out of my head. It's an island green.
We're talking about an island green here. It shouldn't be possible to miss the green and not be wet when it's an island green.
Exactly, especially when the green's so fucking soft.
What would you say about you want to get rid of the hot tub then instead of that little pot bunker that you've always wanted to put in there then?
We haven't even gotten to the hot tub. We need the hot tub. We need the boat coming in from the Intracoastal. DJ's got
I'm always willing to horse trade.
Yeah, we're conflating a lot of different things here. But
Solly, I thought you were going to ask me what I look for first thing on Thursday.
We're going to get there. We're going to get there. This was just an opening into a bunch of different talking points. I will say I don't ever feel like
he's being shadow banned. He won't talk about what he can look forward to.
I don't think there are balls that are ripping towards the water that rough catches. I do feel that way on 12. I think 12 is bullshit. Sure. Like if you miss left of that green, it should go into the water completely.
Well, I think we backed their asses down on 12. I think we shamed them into shaving it down.
All right, TC, I'm not shadow banning you. What are you most looking forward to come Thursday morning?
So it's like the firmness of the greens. I go out there and I'm like, all right, are there mud balls in the fairways after it hasn't rained for 3 weeks? That's the first thing I look for. Next thing I look for is what are Team Rose and Tommy doing? The great man. That's first and foremost.
Team Rose, really?
Yeah, Team Rose.
And what about Billy Horschel? Will you be?
You might be curious how your picks last night.
Yeah, I said Billy last night on the pod. I said Billy may win the Players this year. He's not in the field, which is incredible to me. Like I don't know how Pat and Kazire and some of these other guys are in the field, but Billy's not.
Do we know what alternate he is? Because you did say he may win. The tournament hasn't started.
It's true. It's true. I don't even know what alternate.
We saw in 2020 a lot of things could happen before the balls even get in the air.
And that's with 2 extra guys in the field this year because of the Brooks rule.
The Brooks rule. God, I forgot about that. That's good stuff. So, what are you looking forward to, man? What are you gonna look for on Thursday?
I didn't fully realize it till I put this question out of the first thing I check whenever I go to check boards and leaderboards and everything. It's Spieth. I want to see what he's doing. And if he's 3 under through 4, I'm ready to blow up all my group chats and go straight to the everything app. But that is where my instinct is every single week of just is this the week? Is this the week we turn it around? I sure hope so.
It's close.
His record, as we talked about last night, record of the player's not great, so I'm not going to open it with a bunch of anticipation this week. But I'm always checking and always believing. That's the first one I always go to.
Electric pairing too. Sahith, medium dick Rick, and Spieth.
I love that.
That's it. I'll be watching some of that one.
Yeah, I would imagine the Jacksonville locals, the ball knowers, are going to be following that group for sure. That's good stuff.
What's yours, Deej?
Yeah, I'll go next. I got a lot of big macro trends I kind of want to talk about, but I don't know. Those don't really play into Thursday. You know what? I'll throw a little olive branch. Well, I'll give you 2. Olive branch to you last night. I'm curious what Akshay is going to do. That was really fun. Again, I was rooting for Daniel Berger, but I am very curious if Akshay keeps it going. He's been playing really good golf. That is a fun golf course to watch him at. It's a golf course that rewards some of those heroic shots, the Joe Greiner go hit the 6-iron of your life type of moments. This place is pretty much built for that.
He's got to drive it a lot better than he did last week, though.
Definitely.
Do you remember what he finished last year?
I actually don't.
T3.
I forgot about that.
Right.
TC, we saw him at the junior players here for the first time. Lots of course knowledge. So
was he anchoring then?
It's a good question. Good question. I have to go back and check some of the hard drives, the old footage on that one. But that's a big one. And I think like a big trend is, and I think maybe this almost factors into some of the major conversation a little bit, is does the Players Championship luck of rewarding horses run out or continue? Because there was a good like decade stretch of this tournament where it was like Craig Perks, Fred Funk wins at 48, Stephen Ames is your winner, Tim Clark, KJ Choi, who obviously great player, but not really a horse at the time. It was a lot of weird randomness going on at this tournament for a good decade. That's not the case anymore. Since they moved it back to March, they've had 6 tournaments, and Scotty and Rory have won 4 of them. You know, it's like Cam Smith and JT are the other 2, and it's kind of turned into a big horses only. And I think, you know, begs the question on whether the big horses are playing that good at golf right now.
German warm bloods.
Yeah, but there's a lot of you know, kind of medium horses that are playing really good golf, and I could see a, you know, Jacob Bridgman, like what we saw at Riv, right? Like a Jacob Bridgman that breaks through it, just a really good player who has a really good week, and, you know, almost looks like a quote unquote disappointing winner, but is kind of uses this as their first jumping off point. So that's a bit long winded, but I think an interesting point about this week.
Neil, what's your thing you're looking forward to the most this week?
Well, I mean, the question was first thing you're going to check Thursday. Brandy, I can't believe you didn't say a pin sheet over coffee. I mean, that's just
that comes out Wednesday.
That's Wednesday night, Neil. Okay, that's
true. I mean, you know, maybe just refer to it though as you're watching. You know,
well, most weeks you're right, but this is big time. So we're doing our homework Wednesday night.
Okay, all right, that's good. That's good clarification. I appreciate that. Deej, I'm fishing the same pond. If I'm being honest, I'm checking the horses. You know, like the thoroughbreds.
Who are they for you?
It's Rory and Scotty for me. I think, and that's actually indicative of Scotty. Watching Scotty's become a lot more fun for me lately. He sees some of what you're saying last night. Like, he has been very bitchy, which is unbecoming for him, but it's actually kind of more exciting to be like, I wonder if Scotty's going to be like in a bad mood. Like I'm kind of tuning in to see, like, does he have a bad attitude on Thursday? Because this whole season, he's kind of blown up on Thursday. You know, he's had a bad first round. I turned on Riv, you know, during Riv, I turned on the golf on Thursday, and it was like, oh my God, Scotty's like ejecting, you know, that's almost become a little bit of a thing for me to look out for. And then Rory being, you know, withdrawing last week, is he healthy? Like, that's kind of on my mind. And, you know, I love watching Rory play golf anyway. So it's usually like, if he's in the morning wave, I'm going to see what he's up to, but I'm going to check the leaderboard. And then from there, I'm probably going to click into the horses.
Scotty and Rory, nobody's ever won 3 times at Sawgrass either. Fun little piece of, you know, historical wrinkle there. They could be the first to do that.
Neil's going straight to the paddock.
Wait, at the Derby when they walk them around like the circle, I'm going there to just check the ponies on their pre-race walk.
Neil, don't forget your helmet.
Okay, thank you, Randy. That's important. I always travel with it. So,
are there any other horses besides Rory and Scotty? Because I think that's an existential question I kind of have right now.
Really good one. I wouldn't consider Xander a horse right now. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not dying to look at the leaderboard or look up what's Xander up to. Is not now. I do think you made a good point there, Deej, about it feels like the players, like for somebody like Cam Young, it's like totally what an arrival. What kind of like how Cam Smith I felt like he arrived when he won this event I think that was 2022. I didn't see it. I was on my honeymoon. That event doesn't exist for me. But yeah, when I was wearing a helmet riding a horse. Yeah, exactly. Just crossing streams here. But Cam Young, it feels like a big spot for him this week. He's playing great golf, and I think he could make some noise this week.
Well, I started jotting down names because I was initially like
just super quick on this, Deej. Just Cam Young course history, which could mean fucking anything for this tournament, of course. But T61, T54, T51 cut is his Players Championship.
Not helping history. My argument, but I was talking about
that might be the best thing for your argument, because this is the golf course that is impossissible to predict.
Everybody I researched was just like a horrible record at this place. Like, has anybody ever finished in the top 10 at this tournament?
Neil,
I had looking yesterday, I mentioned this a little bit last night, but when they broke into Bay Hill and they're like, and now we can reveal the featured groups for tomorrow or for this week. And I think you guys will remember this. Like the featured groups used to be kind of like used to be a thing, right? Like you'd get to the majors and there'd be like 4 or 5 that you're like, oh, hell, oh my God, those guys are together. Great. There's a couple, like you mentioned, TC, but last night it was like, we've got Rory and he's playing with Xander and Hideki. And I was like, what the fuck is that? Like,
yeah, that's not getting me excited.
That's not like, yeah, of course those guys are all like good.
All very good golfers.
Yeah, but we're in a bit of a spot where, to your point, I'm like, it's Rory, at least on the PGA Tour. It's Rory and it's Scotty, and like, that's kind of it.
That's where you miss Rahm and Bryson.
Totally. But then I think you get to this next level where I'm like, man, that next level's really wide. Yeah. We get to like, I'm interested, not to pee on all these guys to talk about now, but it's like Colin, like I'm interested to see what Colin does. Ludwig, Russell Henley should play really well. Cam Young, Victor Hovland, Minwoo Lee, Akshay we mentioned, Hideki we mentioned, Goddard we haven't talked about, Jake Knapp. Like there's a bunch of
those big tone have 20 in the tank.
There's a bunch of dudes in that next like 20 that are all playing really good golf that I'm interested in watching any of. It just is a weird one where it's like, there used to be like 8 horses.
But none of them
it feels like, and now there's 2.
Like I want to say none of them have proven anything. That's not true. What I mean, they don't
ready for the first big moment.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like
outside
they're
of
just
Colin and
primed. Yeah. Other than like, are they gonna challenge Scott? And then Scotty's weirdly kind of just in a funk. So that's maybe why we feel this way. I don't know. It feels wide open right now with Rory maybe hurt and Scotty just kind of in a Willie Loman quiet desperation situation for the last couple weeks. It's an interesting pre-tournament buzz. A true TBD, Deej.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, I'd nominate. I've been trying to work on this for a couple of weeks, and I haven't gotten very far. Of like, and I'm going to slowly unveil it here over certain weeks. Of like, who are the dudes of golf? Like, who are they? And I've found that exercise to be harder than I was expecting, because I struggle to get past like the top 3, which I think like very clear. The dudes of like right now in 2026 are Rory, Scotty, and Rahm are like a step above everybody else, and then it's like,
is Rahm a dude?
I would venture to say he still is. I know he is.
He's acting like a dude. He's acting like a dude off the course. You know, the not paying the fines. Instead, that's dude behavior.
Dude behavior.
Yeah,
basic dude stuff.
I still feel like we're in like, I try to look at this of like who, if you in 2036, you looked back and you jumped into 2026, you'd be like, who are the dudes right now? Like if we did this 10 years ago, it'd be like Dustin Johnson, one of the dudes, Jason Day, one of the dudes, Jordan Spieth, one of the dudes. Who 10 years from now will we look back and say, any dude plus C, great nominee in the chat there. Who are they? And like, I'm honestly like, all right, like if you'd asked me this last year, Fleetwood would have been the easy answer. And like so far this year, it's like, okay, was that?
He's 100% a dude right now.
Not all, he's
right
got to do a
now?
little more right now to prove
U.S.
it.
champion golfer of the world.
He's won one time on the PGA Tour. I'd say Morikawa is the one knocking down that door right now, but it is like a kind of a hard thing to do right in this moment right now. And I'm
quick smell test on this, Solly, like literally just going down the data golf rankings. Scotty, number 1, I would say probably a dude.
Sure.
Rahm, we can debate, but for the sake of argument, let's say yes.
It's a big year for Rahm, though. We called that out on the season preview.
Yeah,
for sure.
That is for me
in majors.
In majors, yeah, like just a massive storyline.
Rory number 3 is a dude, and then you get to Russell Henley, who is great. Love watching Russell.
He's a dog. Maybe not a dude.
Exactly. Tommy Fleetwood, again, we can debate. Xander is number 6 right now. Cam Young, Siwoo Kim, Colin Morikawa. You guys stop me if you hear a dude here.
And Xander's plummeting too. He's
Hideki
6 based on stuff from 2 years ago.
Right. Hideki, Fitz, Big Shot Bob, Ludwig, Bryson, Jake Knapp, Benjamin Booms, like Akshay rapidly, rising up the rankings. But it's like, yeah, I'm with you. So there's a serious dudes might be fully endangered right now. They might be a protected species.
I think dudes are in a transition space right now. We're transitioning from one set of dudes to another set of dudes.
Like it's hard. I when I started this like the thought in my head, it was right after Goddard won twice early in the year. And I was like, well, clearly he's one of them. Now I'm like, he's 55-1 to win this week. Like, can you be a dude and be 55-1? And if you are, my instinct better be to lay a fuck ton of money on you to win the Players at 55-1. And I like Goddard for, I think you can look at somebody like Goddard and say, oh, he's a bomber. He can only, fit on the bomber style courses, which I think he's proven otherwise on that part to say, like, I think there's value in him at 55-1. But yeah, like the odds makers are also going to drive a fair amount of it's going to help fill in the blank and answer that question. If Rahm was in the field, he would be no worse than third favorite at this event. Like that's a dude.
Yeah.
Without looking.
Honestly, so you know who should be in the field and is not, and who I think is making a case. No, for dudedom, Casey Jarvis, like probably the hottest player in the world right now.
What about
this?
Pete?
Is not the Fedora 5 though. That's what the Fedora 5 is for. The hottest player in the world.
Different indice. Yeah.
Whenever I come up with this, it's going to be, I'm going to make a rule where like you can't, once you put someone in, you can't take them out for a year. Like you got to be projecting some permanence.
Oh, the whole thing about the Fedora 5 is that there's no rules, Solid.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Just right.
I'm putting some guidelines around me for my dude list. Okay,
which I would then, with that definition, Solly, I would probably put Henley in. I know he doesn't look like a dude,
right?
But resume is saying he's got dude tendencies, man. Staying power.
If you start looking at player A versus player B on paper, really
nowhere close, Randy.
If he wins this week, it's a
stereotyping him, man.
No. I mean, I know everybody.
Emeritus.
I know this is going to get clowned on, but like the line starts with Little Colin, and if you're not dude enough to jump the line on Little Colin,
I mean, Colin is trending. I keep an eye on that
Russ
one.
has been ahead of Colin as far as just performance
he's trending. He's playing like
wins on, or he plays well on, plays well at Amex, plays well at Bay Hill. Like he hard, easy course, birdie fest. The guy just gets it done week to week. I know he doesn't look like a dude, but he acts like a dude.
He doesn't win like a dude though.
13, what is it? 12 of the last 13 events he's finished in the top 20. Russ, no wins. You got to win to be a dude. I do agree with you there, Randy.
I'm the guy that rides for great finishes and doesn't care as much about wins. But like for this list, it's got to be like, no, you're
fair
one
enough. Good exercise.
It's got to be both,
I'm willing to be
right? It's got to
be.
be. It's got to be recent form and like predator tendencies.
Yeah. I think
like
Neil, we need
like Brooks. Brooks is a dude emeritus.
Right. Former dude.
Former.
I think we need to,
a lot of former dudes.
It's kind of like the Hall of Fame voting here, Neil, where we need to at least have it on the record that Russ Henley was receiving votes.
Yeah.
He might not get in, that's fine.
Sure.
But he was receiving votes.
Yeah, I think it should be treated with that level of, getting a first ballot is tough as well.
We're
right?
also kind of just rehashing the like dog or killer conversation. We're just changing the word
which
here.
Is an important. I think it's always important question. I get a kick out of we're talking about Scotty being so shitty, and it's like T24 is awful for him. Like that's how you know he's a dude, right? Like
yes.
I just think
I'm willing to say he's a dude. Yeah,
we have such dudes that when you measure Henley, when you measure all these guys against that, they're not.
I think the guy that we haven't brought up yet, that I think he's absolutely on the precipice of being a dude, Chris Goddard.
Haven't brought up. We talked
to him for about 2 or 3 minutes.
Also, I do want to revisit to Randy's point
Neil
about
said, yes,
you gotta lap Little Colin. I mean, Russell sucked the life out of him at Bay Hill in 2025. I mean, he literally like pantsed Colin at Bay Hill.
That was a year ago.
I'm just putting it on the resume as part of the argument. Just to
we got a lot of things going in a lot of different directions here.
I just don't understand how Goddard's not a dude.
Week.
He's won twice this year.
We just talked about this.
Yeah, what were you doing, man?
But you guys
Did you miss
talking
that?
about Henley.
No, it was like 5 minutes ago. We talked all
He's
about
36 years old and has 5 wins. Come on.
I'm with Randy. As much as I love Russ, we can't.
And we like Russ, and he's a total dog. Yeah.
fair enough.
Without looking, without looking. This is kind of also to my point. Without looking, who's the 4th favorite on the board? I'm looking at the FanDuel odds right now for the Players this week. We have Scotty, Rory, Colin are the top 3. Who do you think is 4th on the board?
Oh, that's a good guess. Yeah.
Siwoo Kim tied with Tommy.
Fedora 5 alum.
Fedora 5 alum. Yeah. Past champ, obviously.
Yeah.
All right, I have a question. I nominated DJ to be the one to answer this one, and if anybody else feels would feel stronger about this than him, but I know we're doing a little Pete Dye. We're looking into some Pete Dye related stuff. I'm curious if I asked you this, DJ, if Pete Dye was still with us, what would he say about TPC Sawgrass in its current iteration?
Good question. We're early in our we're doing some research for a project, and we're very, very early in it. So I certainly won't pretend to be any kind of authority, but I think it's interesting when you look at some of the early quotes of what the point was. The point is to very, very, very much test these guys. I think he relished at times in the complaints that the course got. And the fact that people aren't complaining about it as much anymore, maybe that's probably a negative indicator. There's some of that, but I think TC, you've harped on this a lot. Maybe you can talk more about it, but it's a lot different from a green speeds and slopes in the greens perspective. It's obviously a lot different just from the waste areas and the naturalness and all of those things, which I think he saw those changes kind of as they progressed, but it certainly wasn't exactly what he started with. And you look at some of those old photos of Sawgrass, it looks like a wild just jungle out there. I love the quotes from back in the day where people are saying they ruined a perfectly good swamp, which is always good when you throw one of those. But I mean, I think there's a lot of the hallmarks that are still there, the visual stuff, the like the test of the second shot, the very wide test of skills that are tested. There's still a lot of stuff that I think is from the natural, the first iteration of the golf course. But yeah, there's been some cosmetic things and green speeds and shaping and all of those things that have changed.
Bad Botox.
Yeah, I think that's right.
TC, anything to add on top of that?
Yeah, I think you look at the greens, there's a heck of a lot less slope. There's a lot less just going on. I think that kind of neuters some of the second shot importance there. There's just not as much teeth going on. It was a lot weirder, more rugged, like Deej said, even shapes of bunkers or shapes of where certain certain native areas came out or certain sandy areas came out. There's still all the stuff messing with your eye. Good example of that's 11. You're standing on that tee and there's the sand goes all the way in front of you, but it's not even close to in play. It's 100 yards off the tee, but it's just obscuring your eye. Or you got the moguls and there's a bunch of weird stuff, but there should be a lot more weird stuff, I think, as well. And it should just I think the ruggedness and rawness and I don't think they have to necessarily go back to it being really, really rugged and raw, but at some point I think there should be some of that brought back in the right spots.
It feels like it's been completely optimized, right? All the rough edges have just been completely smoothed out of the golf course in order, kind of in the name of a premier test, when it's I don't know if that's really accomplishing exactly the right thing. But that said, it's the shots it rewards, the various different skill sets it rewards. It is hard to argue with a lot of that stuff, in that it is a very unique, very good test on the PGA Tour still, despite the fact that it's relatively, it's shorter and it doesn't place as much of an emphasis on driving distance and all that. So it's an interesting question. That's all I had. Did you have any thoughts on it too?
Yeah, I brought this up because we did our 1994 PGA Tour season deep dive. This was 93. Greg Norman blitzed the course to the tune of 24 under par. This was just 11 years after the first Players was hosted at TPC Sawgrass. And Dean Beeman came out and said, "We're not going to change the golf course." And Pete Dye's quote at that time was said, "It doesn't hurt me. I don't have anything to do with what's going on there. It was supposed to be a rustic looking golf course. Now it's the most manicured course in the world."
There's another quote I saw where he's basically once somebody shoots 63, it's kind of hard for anybody to complain about the golf course anymore too. So I think it just kind of seems like it got out of what it was originally supposed to be.
I reserve the belief that it might have been too silly in the very first iteration. I mean, it sounded just they're coming into greens with 5 irons and trying to I forget what Jack Nicklaus's quote was, but coming in with a 5 iron and trying to land it on the hood of a Volkswagen is very much in that camp of a perfect shot and a mediocre shot again that end up in the same place, and it not being a very good test. But Do I think it's gone too far the other way around the greens since then? I mean, without a doubt. And that's where I don't think the move from May to March has helped them because we've seen what happens at the level of professional golf when you get even less than perfect conditions in terms of your ability to protect scoring. It drives fans away from the game like Big Randy is what I'll say is what happens next.
Yeah, I think the greens made a lot more sense like in the current iteration when it was in May.
Yeah.
Right. Like you've got the fire in them and all of that. But I think also it's funny to hear Jack say that, where Jack's built a lot of greens in his career that like it's like landing a 5-iron with a high cut in a quadrant, green kind of thing. Like I'm not sure you have a bunch of room to cast aspersions there, Jack. But I think just looking back to, I think there's certain spots where like the distance issue or the distance question being asked isn't being asked anymore. Like on a hole like 18, where guys are hitting 3-wood off the tee there and roping a draw in. Like that's a hole where like I don't think they should lengthen the golf course in many spots, but I think a hole like 18 should be like that should be 480 in my opinion. And like you should be hitting a 5-iron in there or a long iron into that green and trying to make a par, not trying to make a birdie.
Yeah, it's a weird one, and I think again, I feel like I keep bumping up on this, but I do think it plays into the major conversation, right?
For sure,
it needs to play if you want to keep beating that drum. There's a case to be made that it's like, well, then it needs to play like a major. I guess I think when you get in with quote unquote serious golf fans or people who like talking about this stuff, that's where you get into like playability and, the greens need to play like this, or the fairways need to play like this, or this cut needs to be this height, or like whatever. But even zooming out, it's like that, like, why does that stuff matter? That stuff all matters because it ladders up to the better leaderboard, which makes it look more like a major as well, because there's a way to make something hard and arbitrary, right? Which is fun sometimes. And Randy, I think, we can lead a breakout session on that at some point, but it's like that's not necessarily rewarding the best field or the best winners, and that's what the majors do. There's a reason why little boys don't win majors anymore. Like that just doesn't happen, and it's I think pretty much because of the pressure is one thing obviously, but like it's setup stuff. It's like they're set up like majors. They're set up to reward the people who are can live above that threshold. And yeah, the players it's a weird one because it's also set up to be, 16 is supposed to be, it's set up to be more like a theme park in spots too, where you just want everybody to be able to make birdies and eagles and fireworks going everywhere. And so it is a little bit of a conflicting identity, I think, that it's going to have to work through if this whole March's major thing is going to continue with a straight face.
Yeah, there's still so much to celebrate about this golf course. I forget what year it was, but I remember when Zalatoris was in contention and he got stuck up in the moguls on the right side of 14, and it was just like he had a comically bad shot out of that. I'm like, yes, like that's great. Like that is awesome. That is unique to this event. There's so much great mounding and moguling that is very contrived, but it is a really good test for these guys. It makes them very uncomfortable, and it puts a lot of emphasis on the right golf shots. It just really comes down to the softness. That was like alarm bells going off last year. I mentioned this last time as well, but when I hit a shot out of the rough the night before the tournament started last year and it stopped dead in its tracks, I was like, dude, we got something wrong with this March thing. Like really, if this is how the course is going to play, it's really a letdown, especially compared to what we just saw at Bay Hill yesterday, which is very clearly a willingness to push that course. So
it's one of the best sets of par fives in the world, in my opinion. Like just awesome par fives, and then they got to fix 12 too. They got to fix 12. It's an abomination right now.
TC, say more on that. Why do you feel that way?
I think it encourages you to hit away from the hazard. First and foremost, it's gone through 3 different iterations now over the last decade, and it seems to be getting worse every single time. I think some of the like if you look at it last year, like there were not any balls going in the water really, like for guys going for the green, like everything was getting held up in that strip of rough down the left. It was just like you could just hit a 5-iron, and the greens are soft enough to where you're coming in with a wedge. You're hitting one close. There's a couple spots that they can put a pin there that kind of protects it, but overall, it just didn't feel like you had to hit 2 great shots to make.
So my question though is, why is it an abomination? Like, you take the rough down by the water. Do you think the tee shot is still too easy? Like, if you hit a 5-iron off that tee, it's just like an easy 5-iron wedge.
Yeah, the hole's
like,
just
there's
kind
no
of
teeth?
backwards. Yeah, the hole's backwards. Like, you can just kind of bunt one up front right side and get up and down from there for a pretty easy birdie. Like, I just don't think it makes you hit either 2 really good shots or 1 great shot to have a chance at an eagle or a birdie. And then, like, we don't really see any eagles either. Like, there's not, like, it's just, I don't know. It's just an easy 3, it seems like.
The balance is wrong, Neil. I think, like, when you get to a short par 4, you should feel something. You should feel some angst. You should feel like there's something I've got a thread here. Like, there's a reason on a Pete Dye golf course of all courses. There's a reason why they've tempted me with this hole being short. And there better be a pretty darn good exchange of value of, the layup needs to make sense as as part of the equation. If there's not proper risk reward in the shot, then the layup doesn't. And they've actually started, like, abandoning this hole as a drivable hole. Like, they played it, I think, more as a 370-ish hole. I'm looking it up from last year, more than they did from a drivable perspective. Yeah, they only had the tee up one day. That was on Saturday last year. We have a look on this golf course alone. We have an example of, like, look at the 4th hole and how well they use the bulkhead and the green that goes right up to the edge of the water to really drive the value of that hole. Where off the tee, you better hit the fairway on 4, or all of a sudden that shot looks really, really difficult because of how close that green sits to the water. If you miss the fairway on 12, the green is far away from the water. And it's not like anything runs down there and you have to fear actually going in the water. Like, the risk should be, now I'm out of position and I got to get really close to this bulkhead water and try to navigate that. Like, I'm one of the best players in the world. That's a pretty fair challenge. What's not a fair challenge is just have the green sit this far to the right and not have any real risk in any of the shots. Like, make it be a sweat. Like, that's what so much of the rest of the course does, is make you sweat the risk of a shot. Look at 16 green. Like, when they put that pin all the way on the right side of, if you want to get close to that one, you risk going in the water on that one. And it's just kind of amazing that that this one sticks out as badly as it does. In my opinion, I think
the bunker up the left, like that fairway bunker, it's just like, it's protecting you from the water. Like, you should be trying to I don't know, like, and you dump it in that fairway bunker, there's no penalty whatsoever.
Bad, yeah.
Like, and then, like, there's nothing interesting up behind the green either. There's just a bunch of grass back up there. So there's nothing really keeping you from forcing the issue.
I'm just looking at the scatter plot from last year. To your point, TC, I can find quickly maybe two bogeys from people that drove it in that bunker. The rest are par and birdies from anyone that drove it in that left bunker. That's just where it's like, even 10 at Riv, like, you drive in a fairway bunker on 10 at Riv, you are going to have a bad time. You're going to have a very bad time. So,
and it's sandwiched between, like, 2 of my favorite holes on the course,
yeah,
in 11 and 13. Those are awesome golf holes. And it just feels like such a waste of, like, this is supposed to be this great pivotal moment in between. And then you kind of lock in on 14, 15, which are really, really difficult golf holes. That, like, 13 through 15 stretch is like, you got to buckle down, especially when they tuck the pin left on 13, and 12 is just such a letdown when you're out there.
17 tee balls out of 431 tee shots went in the water last year on 12. So I bring all this up because Davis Love and his design team they're redoing this golf course in 2028, and it's going to be, from everything we've heard from him on this topic, is like, he's bringing the Pete Dye stuff back into it. They're working annually, making little tweaks on the golf course. They did make a change to 12 here this past year. They added a bunker down the right side of it. I think there's a new tee on 2 as well. I'm sure we'll hear a little bit more about what those changes are here in the week, but it's coming. Like, there's going to be some, I think almost certainly that Love has been tasked with bringing the teeth back into this golf course, and we're going to see it. So let's look at some odds. What do you say? We have Scotty Scheffler is the favorite at almost 5-1. This is courtesy of FanDuel Sportsbook. Rory is now 15-1. Morikawa 18-1. Siwoo and Tommy are 22-1. Ludwig 25-1. Xander 27-1. We have Russell Henley at 30-1. Cam Young 33. Matt Fitzpatrick 35. Also stuck out as a guy who has a very, very poor course history here. Vic, the unstable compound Minwoo Lee, and Hideki are all 35-1 as well. Akshay 40-1. Sepp Straka 45, also with Jake Knapp, Robert McIntyre. Then we get to Goddard, who has moved to plus 5,000 or 50-1. He's with Shane Lowry, Ricky Fowler, Matt McNeely 55-1. That's one that jumped out to me on that part. Daniel Berger, Kurt Kitayama in there. Ryan Gerard, one of the hottest players in the world, 60-1, along with Harris English. The young boy Jordan Spieth, 65-1 to start the week. So TC, anything on that list stick out to you?
Mav stuck out to me for sure. I don't know what to make of Tommy right now. I think I can't tell if he's just been in the lab kind of keeping his energy up for this next stretch, or if he's been struggling a little bit. I think Ludwig's primed to break out in a big way. I think he's got the putter sorted out. The approach play is back.
Is Tommy gonna have to wear a bunch of bad player stuff from the merch tent?
Yeah, upside down 17.
Those old vintage like hats and
meet me on 17
with the big plastic patches on them and stuff. I don't know.
The 904 hat that I've got here. I think
something to watch.
I mean, Shane's playing good golf. Shane seems like a guy that stuck out to me a little bit. Deej was Harry Hall. Terrible record here.
But that could be a plus. I know he was
thing.
like 80-1 or something. I was thinking, there's a lot of value in that, like north of 50-1 category.
50 to 100-1.
You had you breezed past it for very understandable reasons, but Ryan Gerard's playing really fucking good golf and is a mega ball striker. Second shot golf course, he is a guy that like there's potential, laugh if you will, potential value on that one, coming off of a bad week at Bay Hill, where actually it was only like 2 days, I know, because he missed a cut, but some of his best ball striking numbers of the year. I just kind of like randomly drove it and chipped it horribly, but that could be an interesting one. And that's kind of what got me thinking about like, what if it's not like a big horse that wins this year? What if it's, Ryan Gerard or Harry Hall or Ricky Castillo is like 100-1. It's like, yeah, he's a really good player. He could absolutely go make some noise. It's a lot of lowercase d dudes that are interesting in that quadrant of the odds.
Sam Burns is another one, 80-1. I know they don't call him Overseed Burns. He doesn't really have a great record here. He's got kind of 3, but like this seems like a place that I don't know should suit. Like I don't know what to do with a Ben Griffin. Honestly, Alex Noren was kind of sticking out for me. 71 for like a top 10 or top 20.
Even you again, you're listed him as you were rattling it off there, but like, would you say Berger is like 50-1? It's like, what about
55-1?
What about what we just saw the last 4 days makes you think Daniel Berger's not going to play well? At a golf course where you got to drive it super straight and hit your irons great is like, I don't know. That seems like his recipe that we just saw.
Well, one of my biggest hit bets ever was Keimer at the 2014 Players, because he had a great 54 holes the week before. I forget what event it was, and gagged it on Sunday, and he fell way down the odds. He went to 80-1. And I was like, dude, he's still playing great. Like, I love this one, and hit that one. Yeah, I don't know why. It's such a weird week though, and especially the early part of the week. Like you never know what names are going to pop up on this. Shane Lowry does have a solid course history here. The last 5 years: T20, T19, T35, T13, 8th in the most recent iterations of this tournament. But
Jason Day's another one like that, where like he's got some good stuff in the past. Obviously a winner, but coming in kind of in poor form.
Let's make some calls on this on the other side of this, because I'm going to give a shout out to our friends with the Subtle Dog logo. It's calling our name just in time for Azalea season. Roback's Azalea collection. It's here. Fresh prints, clean colors, and just enough spring energy to make you think this is finally your year. The classic Azalea print, plus new designs to fit whatever you need. You know how much I love the Roback layering. They just introduced the new Highlands hoodie. It's got no drawstrings that flap around. It's got great stretch. It's a really smooth feel. It's lightweight, but warm for those early tee times. This is a great spring outerwear item. It's a true golf hoodie. I'm very, very here for it. topping it off with a new lightweight vest, the Brookline vest. It's very nice. It's got a really nice stretch. It's got 2 pockets. This is made for, those first 5 holes when you need a little layer on, but you don't need it all day. It folds up very easily into the golf bag. Perfect weight for spring golf. So if you're building your 2026 rotation, Roback's got you covered. Go to roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use code NLU for 20% off your first order through the end of the week. Again, roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Code NLU gets you 20% off. All right, we're going to make 4 predictions each. I'm going to ask you to go through all of them all at once. I'm going to start with Mr. TC on this one. The 4 predictions are going to be and I, of course, going to ask for one name for each of these. Someone 50-1 or more that you think can win, who will not win, who will win, and one bold prediction. That is what all 4 of us are going to give. TC, what are your 4?
55-1. Rick Fowler.
Yeah, TC, I'm riding with you. I love it, man. I love it. The Rick Tater's, he's showing form. Great stuff.
Who will not win? Well, I had Billy Horschel in there now because he's not in the field. But I'm going with the combo platter of Cantlay and Xander. Both of them, because they're boys, buds. Both of them are not going to win. Who will win? I'm going to say Ludwig.
I knew it.
Wins.
I knew it.
Ludwig wins. And then what was the last one? One bold prediction?
One bold prediction. We'll come back to you on that if you want us to.
Yeah, come back to me.
DJ, what are your 4?
Yeah, 55 or over 50-1. I mean, I kind of said a lot of this already. The Gerard thing sticks out to me. Berger sticks out to me. I'll continue to be a Harry Hall respecter at plus 8,000. Any of you guys are welcome to join me at any time. Harry Hall, we know he rolls the ball. He's gonna putt it great. He can win. I'm not saying he will win. He can.
That
win.
was the question. Can win.
Who will
Does
not?
he still wear that dumb hat?
Yeah,
Yeah.
extra dumb. And now the colors are even getting worse.
Yeah,
It's a bad aesthetic. Aesthetic.
But as DJ said, he rolls his potato.
He does roll the potato though. You gotta respect that.
He just doesn't drive it well at all.
Who will not win? This is not the boldest call in the world, but it's just I'm going to use my time and my platform to just say JJ Spawn's playing atrocious golf right now, and he was so close to winning this golf tournament last year. He is a major champion, obviously, Ryder Cupper, and he's playing bad. Some of his worst putting of his entire career over the last
golf soon
couple months. Yeah, which is
what he said he would do if he wasn't playing pro golf.
Yeah, it's not good right now, and so I'm going to say JJ Spawn will not win.
I'm gonna request you throw in another name with that one in the spirit of the who won't win.
I mean,
that
dude,
65-1's pretty down the board on that one.
Sure, he lost in a playoff last year. He
65-1. That's quite safe.
So
many names.
Okay, I'll say Tommy won't win.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, that's fun. Sorry, TC. Who's my pick? Fuck it. Here's what I'm going to go with my pick. Okay, the Players has a long history of people winning for a second time after a big gap. Right? We of course have DL3 won 11 years apart. Tiger won 12 years apart. Hal Sutton won 17 years apart. Fred Couples won 12 years apart. This gentleman that I'm thinking of is going to be playing his 25th Players Championship.
Team Rose?
Team Rose has never won it.
Team Rose has never won it.
Top 10s.
Solly has got it. He's playing really good golf right now. 4th at Riv, T11 last week. Adam Scott, I think is my pick to win this week. I think he's playing awesome golf. Would be a great
what are his odds?
I don't know. I go off the eye test mostly.
Sure. No, I'm asking
65-1.
65-1
Wow, I love that.
I need to consult someone in a legal betting state to help me
take that offline.
Yeah, exactly. And my bold prediction, yeah, it's a good one. I'm gonna say somebody in the final group hits in the water on 17. I feel like we haven't had a real killer one of those in a while.
I mean, I guess JJ on Monday.
Besides JJ on Monday, but yeah, I'm saying the moment where everybody's like, is he going to hit it in the water? Or is he not going to hit it in the water? He's going to hit it in the water this year. So revisit that moment when we get there.
Okay. Big guy.
Oh boy. Okay. You know who I think can win this tournament, and he's having a sneaky good season. He's had some okay results here. I'm getting a lot of chatter from some family members. Is Ryan Fox, the proud Kiwi,
Foxy.
125 to 1.
Wow.
But I would just encourage you. You know, he's 4 top 25s. He was top 10 at Riv. He's had a top 20 at Players.
Huh.
He's out there doing things. So will he win? Probably not, but he could win.
Could win.
Yeah.
I love that.
Who most assuredly will not win?
God, Solly's throwing up his mouth right now.
I just want to say, I just again, this does not necessarily mean anything. Data Golf has it as the 6th worst course fit in the field this week. That just
those guys know?
surprised me.
I thought we were throwing out course fit. What is even course fit here?
There is no
It
course
also has
fit.
Rory
That's the whole
being
point.
a horrible one, and he's won it twice. So
I think who won't win. Listen, I'll go. I was thinking about Scotty, but I'm not willing to put my name there. So we'll go with Rory. I think the back spasms, the everything else, we'll take a shot there. Who do I think will win? Guys, I'm talking myself into him. Little Colin.
Michael Brennan.
Oh my God, Randy's buying high again.
I love it.
Yeah, we're buying at the top.
At the tippy top again.
I may need Little Colin to start
Rory,
winning the Players, and I may need the Players to become a major for me to get to 8.
Exactly.
Randy shitting on Rory, buying high on Colin. He's back, baby.
Some things
He's
never
back.
change.
Yeah, good
Some
to have
things
you.
never change.
I was thinking about this, Randy. I mean, remember coming into the Players for the last like 4 years of Colin's like heyday. I feel like it was always like, oh, obviously Colin's going to win. Obviously Colin's going to be up there. You know, that's kind of died down.
And even last year, you know, he had a horrendous round 3, but he was otherwise he was good. He's obviously playing good golf this year. We'll see. I don't know. This could be the year of Colin. Maybe not.
T10, T45, T13, miscut, T41 in the last 5 finishes, just slightly below average from a strokes gain perspective to his normal baseline at TPC Sawgrass.
All right. Well, put me down for Colin, and then my one bold prediction. I'm putting the B in bold here. I think somebody falls in the water this year. I think we've been close the last couple of years, but I think one of the players falls in the water this year.
Not jumps in, falls in.
No, not jumps in. That's a very good distinction, Neil. I think somebody accidentally falls in the water.
God, we need to run up like a Kalshi on this one. You could get some insider stuff going, buddy.
That would make my week. So
Do you want us in the water? Do you want to venture a guess as to who?
Or which hole?
Well, you know, 17 obviously is a pick with one of these balls up against the collar. You know, it just takes one misstep.
No, where was the hole where Trent from Barstool in the crit was that on 16? He like
16.
fell, but he didn't fall in the water. I guess he just fell over in the moguls right at 16 or something.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Me and my guy were fucking locked into our process.
That's right. You guys wouldn't have seen that. That was good. That was good TV though.
Guys, Tommy's up in the news conference right now, and he's got a Players rope hat on.
They're kind of doing him dirty with this shot, making him look like he's about 5'2".
So those are my picks. Sorry, Neil. What do you have?
That was bold, big. Went beyond my wildest dreams.
That's good stuff, Randy. 51. I had the Rick Tater, but you know what? I'm gonna go higher up the board. Who I think can win the Star Boy.
Yeah, sure.
It's Satsune. Wow. He's got, I mean, you know, clearly a ball striker. I believe a flusher. He's what 12,000 plus 12,500. Those are long odds, but I think he's proven he can run with the thoroughbreds. Can he close? I don't think so, but can he win? Yes, I think so. Who won't win? I'll put my name on it. I don't think Scotty's winning this week. I don't think we've bottomed out yet. Giraffe stuff from the Beluga. Scotty will not win. He just has been like really bitchy, which everybody seems to be coming around on that. He's entitled to do that. I think it's unbecoming, but I think he gets back to his top 10 ways, but I don't think he wins this week.
Famously not a great course for being bitchy. Not a course that rewards a lot of bitchiness.
Yeah. Who will win? I'm going with Cam Young. I mentioned at the top of the show, but I feel like he's one trending, maybe puts it all together. He feels like a worthy Players winner to me.
Hell yeah.
And it feels like would be a big time arrival, and especially after his performance at the Ryder Cup, I find myself rooting for him to become one of the dudes of American golf. I don't think he's not a super exciting personality, but I look at him with the beard and stuff. He reminds me a little bit of DJ in the way that he kind of swags around the course and how far he hits it and how quiet he is. I just think he's got a quiet swagger to him, and it feels like it's time to do something meaningful. From a win standpoint, it's time. So I'm going to go with Cam Young. Basic dude stuff. Let's see.
Scared me.
What was the last one?
A bold prediction. Bold prediction. Randy's.
I can't
bold,
reach
baby.
with Randy, but I actually had something similar. I think someone's going to hit it in the water on 18 in a meaningful way at the last hole. I think we might be collapsing Bud on 18, and I love it when 18 is a factor at this tournament.
TC,
to your
tee
point,
or on the approach,
off the tee,
or
I
the
would
punch
say.
shot like Cam Smith.
or the
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of options to hit in the water there on first or second shot, but I would like to see it be a factor. And based on the last two tournaments, like, we're kind of sometimes that's contagious. Coming down to 18, someone wrecking their rig. That's what I'm predicting.
Go.
Can't believe this one's still available for me for somebody more than 50 to 1 that you think can win. Maverick McNeely. I think he absolutely could win this tournament, and I have a feeling he's going to be in a lot of my lineups this week. Who will not win? I can't see a world where Xander wins this week. That one's just
wait. Hold on, I want to backtrack. How many lineups you put together, Dolly? Are you just like deep in the daily fantasy stuff?
I like throwing something together. I don't win ever, but it's fun. It's give you something to look forward to. It's fun.
Lineups plural.
Yeah, I might make 3 or 4 this
Matt will
week.
be seeing his name up on the sheet outside the coach's office. Congratulations.
I'm absolutely
jersey,
the mark.
son.
I'm the mark for these things because I do
Was
more than
so
one.
Close. Oh my God. Ryan Gerard would have made bogey on the last instead of double. Oh,
and then from Sully's burner, he's up in their replies like you blew it for my fantasy team.
You
this
bitch.
week.
How come you couldn't get out there?
Michael Kim, what's your fucking problem, man? Why don't you get it together?
Fuck.
Yeah, why are you afraid to go at the pit at the last, you bitch?
I'm still chasing that high from the Rom round at Royal St. George's that cost me like $1 million.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's not going to be my lineup is Xander.
Who will not win this week? Solly's.
Solid's fantasy stuff.
DFS line.
God, I hope I light it up this week. You guys can taste it. I'm gonna instead of doing what I did last year with this guy when it wasn't going well, I'm gonna steer back into this. Make sure I'm on the leading edge of when he does come back. I think Scotty wins this week. I think whatever's going on, I think he gets it fixed between now and Thursday, and I think he is still going to win this golf tournament. I think he's
first guy to win it 3 times.
He'll be the first one to win it 3 times. Yeah,
that'd be sick.
Mr. Nicholas, of course, won it 3 times, but not in Sawgrass.
Well,
Solid bold prediction. I was gonna go with something pace of play related, like somebody gets dinged for pace of play. I don't think that happens.
No,
I think
time in 150.
I think Max Homa is in the mix coming down the stretch on Sunday.
Hell yeah.
God, until he hits it in the water on 18.
There we
falls
go.
in.
Or 17,
falls
like
in.
DJ,
Falls in.
and then falls in.
Yeah.
And then gets a pace of play penalty while he's drying himself off.
My bold prediction was
Solly
going to be
wins
that
his daily fantasy because he's on the other guy's team.
My bold is Akshay is going to finish second. He's going to be a runner-up this week.
a good one.
Specific
Finishes
on
second
on
because he
this.
gets penalized for anchoring.
And falls in the water. Exactly. D just got a little game prepared for us. Before we get there, I want to give a shout out to our friends at SoFi, the all-in-one finance app where you can bank, borrow, and invest. Think about your golf swing. The more you practice, the better it gets. Same goes for your money. By investing consistently over time, you may increase the potential for long-term growth. That's why we love SoFi. They offer all-in-one investing that's easy to use. You can trade stocks, ETFs, and even get access to IPOs before they hit the exchange with SoFi Securities, or try SoFi's award-winning low-cost robo-advisor through SoFi Wealth. Whether you're an experienced investor or just getting started, SoFi provides tools that can help you stay on top of your financial game and help you reach your ambitions. Head to SoFi.com/NLU to learn more about how you can get your money right with SoFi Invest. This is a paid advertisement by SoFi Technologies and is not intended to be financial advice. Same goes for my lineups that I was throwing out there as well.
Of course.
So. All right, we ready to play, Deej?
I'm ready. This is a game called Who Am I? We've played this game before in the past. We played it recently at the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. It's kind of a time killer game, but it always makes me just so happy. I love playing this game. I think you guys got a kick out of it back at Pebble. I know our friend John Stanky got a kick out of it. I forget if I told you guys this, but we were doing this during the Pebble shows, and I saw him behind the 18th green after Morikawa had won, and he walks up. He goes, "God, I can't believe I missed that Jim Nance one. I've been kicking myself up that all night." So these are all, I've got 5 of them for you guys here. I'll lay out some clues. They're going to start from the most vague, and they'll get slightly more specific. It'll kind of give it away as we go. You can throw out a guess whenever you want. If you are wrong, you're out. You're out for that question. Okay. And we'll just see who can get the most right. I was going to do a whole, like, the first clue is worth this much. That's a lot to keep track of. We'll just see who can do a good job. All right, guys. First one. I was born in, these are all Players Championship related. They're tied to the players. Okay. They're tied to the players somehow.
But it doesn't have to be a player.
It's tied to the players. Tied to the players somehow.
Okay.
I was born in Macon, Georgia. Grew up in the Florida Panhandle, but spent my summers playing golf in Jacksonville Beach. Practically a home game. No guesses. We'll move on.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Bud Cauley.
With this,
it is not Bud Cauley. TC, you're out. Okay. And remember, you're out because then you're going to hear a clue where you're like, "Oh no, I know it. You're out for this one."
We'll see if he's out.
Yeah. You sanctioned me with.
I make a hole in one. I'm back in.
Okay. In 1974, the first year the Players was contested, I won the U.S. Amateur at Ridgewood.
74 amateur.
Leo thinks he might.
Jerry Pate.
I knew you were going to guess that. I knew it.
Jerry Pate.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
you rocked him, man.
I finally got it. God, that makes my year, Deej.
I knew you were all about it. You're all about Jerry Pate as the former kid. Yeah. I mean, that's a great one.
Whoa.
Don't call me the volcano.
That's
Yeah,
impressive. That might be as good as it gets.
I didn't know that was the right answer, but I knew Neil was going to guess that.
They
I
have
could
a plaque
see.
out at Ridgewood. I was like, no, I know this because I remember looking at the plaque. I played out there last summer. I was like, oh, Jerry Pate. That's my guy. Yeah.
The other clues are going to be 8 PGA Tour wins, includes the Players, the U.S. Open, Canadian Open, and my hometown Pensacola Open, right next to Bubba's Sweet Spot, or what was ever the candy store is. Bubba here. Worked as the player consultant with Pete Dye and Bobby Weed to build the Dyes Valley course, and famously the first player to win the Players at TPC Sawgrass. Next one, guys. TC, you're back in.
Thank you.
I did win the Players Championship, but I only played the U.S. Open one time. Shall we continue?
Craig Perks.
Holy shit.
I was going to fucking guess it. I wanted to hear one more.
TC.
That is right, TC.
I thought I could sneak it in.
Craig
That's
Perks,
so good.
players champion, only win on the PGA Tour, of course, played for 2 different colleges, University of Oklahoma and the University of Southwestern Louisiana, the Cajun Kiwi, of course. Tiger Woods won the Players before mine, I was going to say. And then, of course, famously, over the last 3 holes of my win, only needed 1 putt. You guys would have beat that one up. I didn't think you were going to get it after 1 clue.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
really good.
But yeah, only played the U.S. Open 1 time, Players champion. That's crazy. Good stuff. All right, moving on. I was the first non-American to win the Players. Good clue. I had no idea. We continue. I won 2 majors, but I never got higher than number 3 in the world rankings.
Don't have it.
Hold on, Randy.
No, I'm not ready.
This might give it away for one of you. I won the Open before the OWGR started, and I won the Masters after it started.
Woosman?
Not Woosnam. You're out. Good guess.
Did he win the Players?
Woosman.
Yeah, Woosnam, but
Yeah, I said Woosman, so I'm back in.
doesn't even count. Yeah,
It doesn't count.
Neil's gonna have a pint. Pulls off.
Pits with Ian Woosman.
I should know this is bad.
My win was the only time I ever finished top 10 at the Masters. I finally hung it up at Augusta in 2023.
Sandy Lyle.
Sandy Lyle is
I wanted to. Yeah.
First non-American to win the Players.
I was trying to picture what's lined up in the
Sandy Lyle.
lobby there. They're all in the lobby. All the pictures.
And they're on maps.
I didn't know this one. 1974. A lot of 1974, first year of the Players. I got a golf scholarship to the University of Houston, but I never attended. Do you know why? Did not pass the entrance exam. Had no.
This is
idea.
Lyle.
This is Sandy Lyle. And then I was going to say my first name's actually Alexander, which I also didn't know.
And didn't Monty went to? Did Monty go to Houston?
He went to another school.
Houston
Texas.
Baptist, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that Houston back in the day just beating up the.
Are you thinking of Elk?
I was thinking of Elk.
Elk
That's
went to
right.
Houston. Fred Couples, Jim Nance.
God,
things of
Elk
that
telling
nature.
that story. I think about taking my job with IMG. I'm not really good. Said Monty, you're really good.
All right, this one's harder. Let's play a real one here. I never won the Players, but I did finish runner-up at 2 of the first 3. Way back.
2 of the first 3 Players Championships, or the ones at Sawgrass.
2 of the first 3, the Tournament Players Championship.
Okay.
It's not the first 3 at Sawgrass.
Okay.
TPC Sawgrass, that is. After college, I played pro baseball in the Washington Senators organization before switching to pro golf.
Oh,
Would be an impressive pull.
Do it, Neil. You'd be a hero.
No,
Be a hero.
not yet.
Come on, fire at the flag. Come on.
No, I'm always the first one out. I'm holding my water.
If it's helpful, I did win the Senior Players in 1995 in a playoff over Jack Nicklaus. Any big Senior Players fans in the house?
I think I might know, but
Ray Floyd.
that's what's going to be my
I was
guess.
going to say Ray Floyd too.
Ray Floyd is not the answer.
All right, so only TC's out.
Only TC's out. The first year that the Players Championship was played, 1974, which we know by now, was the same year my uncle went into the World Golf Hall of Fame. Oh, Neil, that one caught Neil. Curveball from the Washington Senators organization.
That's right.
Baseball.
Should we continue? I got 2 more.
Yeah.
Leaderboards always list me by my initials, but I prefer to go by my middle name, Carlisle.
JC Sneed.
That's exactly right. So
Wow.
great stuff, man.
Look at this guy. What a unit.
Really,
Hot
really
Carlisle.
good stuff. Yeah, JC Sneed. I was gonna last clue is gonna be I was born in Hot Springs, Virginia, which makes sense if you know my last name.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the story of JC Sneed from the what do we call that one? The turn with the high scores. The podcast we did about the high scores. Carnage tournaments.
Yeah.
Do you remember that story from the Sawgrass Players?
Vaguely.
Put those pictures
He
back
was
up,
the one.
Cody.
He was the one, by the way, that said they ruined a perfectly good swamp.
Yeah, his signature big brimmed hat here. When the wind got up really, really bad at Sawgrass Country Club, it blew off of his head and it rolled 100 yards down the fairway and hit his ball on the green and penalized him a shot.
I do kind of remember that now.
That's the greatest, one of the greatest nuggets I've ever found in research.
The brim was too big. He needed a fedora. Like his uncle.
Oh, that's good stuff.
So tough.
So, Solly, what do you got? 2. Neil's got 1. TC's got 1.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
All right, last one here. When I was a freshman at my now renamed high school, Ronnie Van Zant, one of the founders of Leonard Skinner, was a senior.
That ain't for me.
Okay.
Moving on.
Moving on.
All right. I was a runner-up at 2 majors, once to Curtis Strange and once to Nick Faldo. Okay, moving. I won 10 times on the PGA Tour with a lot of double ups, weirdly. I won Doral twice, won the Western Open twice, and I won Kingsmill twice.
Scott Hoke.
Good guess, but no.
That was going to be my guess. I'm glad.
TC's eliminated. Neil's the only guy that can tie Solly. I do not have a tiebreaker.
Come on, Randy. You got to get this one for me.
My last win on tour was actually the Tour Championship in 1994 at Olympic Club.
God, we just did the pod.
Always a shout out that the Tour Champ used to be at Olympic Club.
You did do that. This was your category, Neil.
Yes, it was.
Last one, last clue. This is gonna kill TC. My son was the guest on episode number 18 of the Trap Draw podcast. Randy, I gotta think you gotta get get this one.
Come on.
Son.
We've had so many big name people on the Trap Draw.
God, I'm
My
so
son.
mad at myself.
Come
was
on,
on the
guys.
It wasn't
I thought the first clue was gonna give it away. That's
Since
the high
reading
school. Where's Leonard Skinner from?
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. 10-time tour winner from Jacksonville whose son was on the Trap Draw. It's pretty specific.
The Trap Draw's throwing me. Son was on.
Son was a professional golfer,
Still is.
PGA Tour player, lives in Jacksonville, came over to the Kill
Oh,
House.
Mark McCumber.
Mark McCumber is the
Okay.
answer. Yeah,
All right.
yeah. That's
Got it.
exactly right. Which I kind of
Wait,
ended with a whimper
who's
there.
his
Tyler McCumber is his
Tyler.
son. Yeah.
No, I was hooked on the
really?
94 thing. Fuzzy Zeller got a lot of run in that tour championship, but he didn't win it. He came in second. I couldn't remember who won.
Mark McCumber was your winner, which I the only other thing I'm going to dig up here, I sent this to TC earlier. I was doing some research on Mark McCumber and there were 2 YouTube videos that popped up. I don't know who's running these YouTube videos, Cody. I don't know if you have these. It was just Mark McCumber names 5 players he absolutely hates, and Mark McCumber names 7 players he actually respects. Hates.
Did you watch them?
I haven't watched them yet. I'll give maybe I'll give those a watch and we can do a follow up on Wednesday.
I
That'd
gotta
be a
know who
great
he
Thursday or
hates.
Friday,
Yeah.
Thursday or Sunday.
So
thing.
shout out to it looks like Beyond Golf is the YouTube channel. Just guys naming players he hates, guys naming players he actually respects. It just really threw me. It really kind of made my day.
Tron was Tyler. Is he the surfer?
Yeah.
Big into.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's coming back now.
He lived out in Colorado for a while. He's a 2-time National Open winner. He won the Ecuador Open and the Peru Open.
He was, that one took Neil.
He had a nice
He's the best.
nonprofit to do with surfing, I
Yeah.
think too. Yeah.
That one took Neil out. He just totally froze. Just too much.
The Woosman is down for the count.
The Woos man. So there you go, Sully. That's today's
That's
Who
great.
Am I?
That's great. TC, what do we got? Obviously, this is Players Week. We get the State of the Union from the head of the PGA Tour. This will be Brian Rolap's first go around in delivering this message. It's going to be Wednesday inside the moat instead of the normal Tuesday. What are you expecting? I don't need specifics as to what's going to get rolled out here, but something's going to come out of this meeting. What's a realistic expectation for people?
Rolap's going to fall in the water.
What's your one bold prediction for Wednesdays?
I'm totally at a loss. I feel like he's gonna say, hey, we're breaking stuff, we're moving with the future competitions committee or whatever, but I have no idea what it's gonna be. And they've kind of but I think he has to telegraph something.
Do you think we'll have an announcement of a new competitive structure?
I don't think we'll have a full-on announcement. I think we'll have hints about where we're going, or at least some decent talking points about where we're going. But I don't know if we're going to have a bunch of specifics. I'll be very curious to know. I think how he positions things from a media perspective as well. Like I saw they're doing the Hard Knocks thing this week with NFL Films, which I thought was really interesting. Like, oh, what a shot across the bow at the Full Swing team. Which 3 thumbs way up from me on that. Like, let's do something for the sickos. It's not just entry level kind of stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I have no idea like what the finer points would be, and like it just doesn't sound like they're that far along on the schedule stuff.
Yeah, I think it'd be unrealistic to expect like a full schedule rollout, but I think I don't know if you can show up and not have like, here's like next year, here's the competitive structure we're going to have. He might come out and say it's 22 events on this circuit and it's blah, blah, blah events somewhere in this range. We're still working out the final details on the secondary circuit. But for all the talk, the talk's been going on for quite some time, and it's getting kind of late for 2027 if you don't have, and maybe the announcement is we're not ready for 2027, and we'll see in 2028 when things are really going to actually change. I'd be curious. It would be impressive to get it turned around this quickly, especially knowing they're in the middle of a media deal that something was sold to the media partners that's going to be different than what they would like it ultimately to be. So I don't think it's going to be nothing, and so just like following that trail, I have a nothing but gut instinct here. I have no inside info at all to say I think we're gonna learn some stuff Wednesday about where the tour is headed. So I think that's a fair expectation too.
Yeah, I hope so. It's kind of appointment viewing for anyone who cares, like about the inner workings, the machinations of like all of this PGA Tour stuff. It's one I'm looking forward to more than I have in quite a while, I guess.
Sorry, actually, you know what a bold prediction is? I think Tiger's going to be there on Wednesday.
Do you have any info on that, or is that just
no? I have no info whatsoever. I just think that would be something that roll-ups like this is important to me that Tiger's on. Like he's heading up this future competitions committee show face. Okay.
I think I cut out there for a second. Power outage. I think it's just macro, like a big spot for roll-up, which I know I'm kind of stating the obvious, but just on like he did the press conference, I think around the Tour Championship, but haven't heard a lot. And I thought he was impressive in that press conference, but it's, it's a big spot for your boy. Like to your point, it's like, you better have something to share. If it's not schedule stuff in full, it better be guidance on how they're going about it. Like there needs to be some detail on what's your, he laid out the macro priorities back in at the end of last season, but there needs to be some details is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Or else.
Or else he's going to start feeling some criticism. I wouldn't even say from us, but it's going to be a little bit of like, well, what are, been in the job 6 months. Like where I think we've been able to do a 360, look at kind of
the Sawgrass Marriott's already off the
What are you thinking, brother? Like other than like what last week they announced like brought a TPC course that they're buying, or it's like what are we doing? What's strategic from the sports group is what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I imagine somebody will ask the question too of if he's only going to speak a few times a year, like what's the the plan and strategy as far as they got to make a decision by January I think of next year on the remaining $1.5 billion potential draw from SSG, and if they want that. And I do not pretend to be as up on all that stuff as I probably should be, but I know a lot of people like Josh Carpenter and those that follow the nuts and bolts week to week on a week to week basis, and Sean Zock and that group will probably be sniffing around some of that. So I hope I'm assuming he's planning on taking questions as well. I believe I saw a report as well that the full PGA Tour staff is going to be there for the presentation as well, along with the media. So that's definitely a different vibe than has been put out in the past with Monahan pressers. But yeah,
it's just, I guess my point is it feels like they're putting a lot of gravitas around this, speech, meeting, press conference, whatever it is, like it sent out like RSVPs. It sounds like they're making it a big deal. And the fact that he hasn't said much in the last 3-4 months makes it a big deal. So I it's like they're almost building it up. So it better be something.
As someone who's been in quite a few PGA Tour all staff, all hands meetings, I hope the employees are allowed to ask questions, because those are always really good. You get one guy who's just like really fired up about IT stuff or something that just monologues for 20 minutes about, some sort of like the email security client or, any of that stuff. I'd encourage them to open up the floor to all the employees. Anybody who's got a question, that would be,
we're all in this together.
Yeah, that would be a dream.
Yes, TC. Mr. Rollup, are you gonna connect the Intracoastal Waterway to which DJ uncovered some really important information on that front?
I was reading a thing. Pete Dye was talking about how underwater all of that Sawgrass stuff used to be. He was out there rolling over the whole property in a rowboat. He said, so we had to dig a ditch connecting it all to the Intercoastal, which TC, I was like, we're almost there, man. Who's gonna finish what Mr. Dye started? Yeah, that's how they drain the land. They just doesn't seem like we're that far off, man. Just connect it to 17 and we're almost there. Let's get some fish and wildlife.
At this point, you might have to pull some eminent domain and
just
knock
make
his house down. It's probably been built. That trench has been built over.
It's filled in a little bit back in those parts over the years, for sure. Anything else, guys, before we wrap and get Players Week out and running?
Nada. Excited.
I think that does it for my notebook. Again, we are going to be Players. Almost a bad slip there. Players kickoff podcast on Wednesday evening, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Going to react to the news of the week, bunch of press conference clippings, all that stuff, and react to the State of the Union speech, interview, media session from Brian Rollup as well. So join us there, and then we'll be live after every round of play Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Maybe bringing some guests in as well. I know TC and I are going to spend a lot of time out there on site this week. Have a bunch of stuff on our social media channels. Make sure you follow us there on the Everything app, on Instagram, on the Talk, and subscribe to the No Laying Up Podcast YouTube channel right here so you get notifications when we're getting ready to go live and you won't miss that content. Thank you to our friends at Titleist, Rowback, and SoFi. Cody running the 1s and 2s, Matt running the socials. To all 4 of you for being here on a lovely Monday afternoon. Everyone have a great Players Week, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Cheers.